too good.
I get old man vision, bro. Come on.
And you drive around with no glasses.
Yeah. I get good enough vision.
That's all you need. Good enough.
No one there. Yeah, what you think? No, maybe not.
Oh yeah.
But I can't see my Starlink. That's okay, but I can see somebody in front of my car. Aloha, guys. In a few minutes, we'll start telling ghost stories. Kill them quick. How's it? We're in the car. Whew. Hey, Brenda. So you guys can see the car too. Because it's 40 degrees outside. Hey, Wilani. And listen. That's the reason why I'm not outside right now. I wonder, we didn't even see the kind. There's Maui over there. Oh, you can see Maui coming right above you.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Brah. Hey, Tadine, how's it?
Oh, my phone's over here.
Why'd you put your phone on my
I
lap?
didn't. You must have.
Oh, okay.
I'm in your way.
Oh yeah, this place. Everywhere we're looking is like wow. You know, I'm taking you guys outside. We can see this real fast for the sunset. The clouds all around, yeah. I'll see. How's it, brother? But I'm not gonna do any typing because I need to put gloves on right now because it's cold. Let me get my beanie too. Hey, where'd my beanie go?
No. Unless you want to. Unless you want to.
So you guys can hear me when I go outside, but I'll take you guys for a walk and enjoy the wind. Let me know if the thing's too loud, huh? Yeah, let me walk away from the Starlink. Aloha, aloha. Mauna Kea, yeah. John, how's it? Right up over here is the Mauna, right? That's the Ahu over there, where the highest point of Mauna Kea is right up over here. There's Mauna Loa. I think that's Mauna Loa. I'll stay down over here. Hey, Michael, how you, bro? Stay at Mauna Kea, go catch the sunset, tell some good ghost stories. Aisha, how's it? Aloha, aloha. Rita, yes, Mauna Kea. And we get our Starlink over here too. As you can tell, real windy. It's at 40 degrees. So, I'm going back in the car. Well, I don't need to yell at everybody around over here. I think I walked in front of your camera. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's so cool.
I know, you get the time lapse going on, you get people walking in front.
Yeah. And it'll be so fast, it won't be at all.
Yeah. Bruh, this thing is annoying. There we go. Michael's watching TikTok.
Nice.
Michael?
Oh, nice.
Michael's watching, yeah, the
Oh
Michael.
my goodness. Hello, D. Michael.
What's up, Dommy? Mr. Michael.
Hi, brother. Hi, Paige. Yeah, beautiful above the clouds. Let me see if I can make this so you guys don't feel cut eye. There you go. We could stay up here till half an hour after sunset, I think. There we go. All right. So Mauna Kea is a very sacred place in Hawaii, right? This is probably, if not the most sacred. And the reason being, a lot of people is like sacred, sacred. Everything's sacred in Hawaii. You go turn one rock over, it's sacred. You're right, it is.
Hey, look, there's a pirate ship on the horizon, a ghostly pirate ship on the horizon.
Oh, that's Goonies right there.
Look,
Wow. Sorry.
look.
So, once again, the creation of the Hawaiian Islands, Papa and Wakea Papa and Wakea birth. Well, actually, I would say Papa, the mother, birthed the islands. Wakea was the father. So the islands were all one. Each island was one baby, and Koho'olawe, I believe, was the afterbirth. um, the story continues that they also birthed Waiau, Poliahu, and many of the other goddesses up here and all around. And they in turn went down the chain, and eventually the people came from it. But the land itself was a person. The land itself is alive, right? That's what the belief is, because they were birthed. And so because the land itself is alive, and it came out of us. Heck, Kaneana Cave, Makua Cave on the island of Oahu, it said that the people from the west coast emerged out of the cave. They came walking out of the cave, so the island did birth them. You know, and that's why this place is sacred. That's why the whole island, all of the islands are sacred, and they were treated like our elders because that's what they are. The spirits, however, they tend to congregate in the higher elevations. You don't find a lot of the spirits, the higher level spirits, the gods, the goddesses, lowercase g, of course. You don't find them up in the. I mean, you don't find them down by the ocean as much. You find some more of the creatures like the mo'o and whatnot, right? Paige, could you go in the back real fast?
Yeah.
And grab my backpack? My tablet's in there. And because of that, it's this is the highest point in Hawaii. This is one of the highest mountains. We are over 13,000 feet above sea level. Thank you, Paige. I know, kind of heavy, yeah.
The whole thing, or just?
Oh no,
the
or
tablet?
just the tablet.
Okay.
It should be in the back pocket inside the thing.
Oh, found it. Here you go.
Thank you.
Of course.
And so that's why this place over here is sacred. This is higher. This is probably one of the tallest. It's considered the tallest mountain in the world when you measure it from its base being below sea level. And so this is taller than anywhere else in the world. This is this is really tall. Bye, Michael. Love you. He's like, I just came here to see. I didn't came here for the stories, Dad. Let's see if I can get rid of that green lens flare. We hide the lens flare in the sun. There you go. Alright, so this place here is just, there's so many gods, goddesses up here. There's so many things. My experience, that little rock I showed you over there. Well, I mean, the experience over here I had a few months ago was awesome. Me and my friend, we were over at the right next to us is the observatories. We were standing over there, and we were doing our protocol and stuff. And I ended up talking to the spirits for a while and telling them what my purpose is, which is fantastic because this is my purpose right here. You know, doing this, talking to people, sharing this with them, and learning, teaching, educating, that kind of stuff. This is my purpose, so people can understand. Oh man, it's great. And when I was down there, I felt, when I was talking to them, a blessing. Like, I felt this good all around me. And so we turned on the spirit box, and it responded very positively. We're like, did you hear? And like, yes. And it said like mahalo or something like that. It was very cool. And then me and Jello, we joined Jubu, and Jubu, the spirit box also told me and Jello that we should go up to the summit, the very, very, very top where the Ahu is. And like, okay, maybe we'll see. And then we talked to Jubu, and Jubu was like, you know, the spirits over here telling me you guys should go up. You guys need to go up over there. And like, bro, that's sacred. That's the highest point. That's the highest point of the whole state over here. That's the highest tip, the peak. He said you need to go over there. So we did. We walked up there, and as we got up over there, I had a jacket on because it was kind of cool. It was like 50 degrees, 55. But when we got there, it was warm. And I could feel these cold tips going down my back, like rain falling on your back. Just these cold little prickles. We felt that, yeah, Makana.
Yeah, yeah.
We were walking to Waiao. We both felt that as well on our back and our legs. On my back and my legs. And my arms? Where'd you feel it?
Around my waist, near my upper legs, and around my torso.
There you go. Did you feel any, Paige?
No, I didn't feel
You didn't feel any? Oh. It was awesome. It was cool. So we felt that over at Waiao as well. I had felt that it was something else. I learned later from my friend Yahuilani that it was probably, I felt that it was a goddess or it was a spirit. Poliahu. Poliahu would be the snow goddess over here. The one who raced Madame Pele on the sledding race and all of that stuff. And, just such great legends over here. You got the Pele and Poliahu, the lava and the snow goddess, racing down Mauna Kea, right? It's great. I wish, maybe I'll read the story, but nah, maybe Bombay. Yeah, so we were over there, and I'm just standing over there, just feeling it for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then I find myself walking around and grabbing the rocks on the ground and putting them on the ahu, the altar. I didn't even notice what I was doing, and then when I noticed it, I was actually grabbing these rocks that fell off of the altar and putting them back on. I was mortified because you don't touch these rocks. They're very, very sacred, right? You don't touch them. Who am I to touch them? But it felt right. It felt like they were controlling me because I knew how to turn the rock. I knew how to fit the rock into the hole, into the where it belongs. Now I'm gonna take this opportunity to tell some stories. Yeah, some of the better stories, the gooder stories. Hold on, I need some caffeine. Dang it, I opened the wrong one. Looking for the energy drink. I opened the Pepsi. Yeah, well, I'll drink the Pepsi. Yep. So over here, I have stories of one of my guardians. One of my guardians is Michael the Archangel. And I could think of no better place to tell stories of Michael the Archangel than this close to the heavens. Please don't step on my thing, bro. Thank you. But just walk in front of everybody that's doing time lapses in their cars.
Oh my goodness.
After this one, I'm going to the ocean sunset. Cool. But yeah, so I'm going to tell some stories about Michael the Archangel. Wave at the people. Hello. It's so funny. My experience is Michael is the manifestation of God's protection and wrath. I like to see Jesus as more of the compassion and the love. And I like to see Michael as God points and he does. He's the archangel that defeated Satan, banished him into hell. And this is the guy who I went fighting my battles if there's anything that needs to be fought. It's been kind of a difficult thing for me, though, because it feels like I'm not giving credit to the Lord and to Jesus as well. And I've had a lot of thought about this. And so when I do that, I'm giving glory to, of course, all glory to God because who created Michael the Archangel, right? I feel, and it's just me, that I'm the dummy that comes out here. Why am I going to call God? Oh, God, get one ghost. And God's going to be, oh, why are you over there? Oh, because I wanted to see one ghost. God, help me get one ghost. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm going to save that for when I need it. So I call upon Michael the Archangel, and it's really fascinating. Oh, maybe I will share that on my later. Not that picture over here. This place is cool. Check out on the way down. It's the most beautiful view. Yeah, on the way up it was too. It's fantastic. Going down, I'm gonna be pooping bricks because it's gonna be dark. So, um, you know what? I'll share the picture. Why not? Here's a story of what had happened when I had quit the ghost tours. I came back and I did a tour, and now what had happened was there were these girls on the tour. They were fine. They were perfectly fine, but they started getting really scared. And so by the time we hit the last place, Paradise Park, in the back of the jungle, we all got out of the two vans, right? No big deal. And they were so scared they wouldn't leave the vans. Now, I would assume if you're scared, you're going to stay with the other 20-something people, right? They preferred to stay in the van by themselves. Actually, I'm sorry, there were three girls, right? So the three girls wanted to stay back in the van, and the other guy, the other driver, the other guide was waited back with them. I'm like, all right, whatever. Oh, look the sunset. It's red. Now it's setting. You want to wake up, boy? Check this out.
I'm looking it out.
He's like, I'm getting all this on camera. I'm fine.
Can I take some pictures of your phone?
Yeah.
Every time I stopped. Oh, there you go.
Thank you.
Well, I can share pictures there. Well, I can do screenshot.
True. I'm filming it too, but I'm
Yeah.
greedy.
Don't stare at him. You'll get the green flash, huh?
Oh,
Stare at him. And
the green box.
I see it.
I want to see if that
look at those clouds. That's cool.
Wow, look at it. Yeah,
Sorry. The sun is setting. The sun is setting. Just in time for the sunset. How cold is it right now? It's cold. I get gloves on.
43 degrees
43 degrees. That's all.
and super windy though.
Oh, the wind is about what? 15 degrees lower.
That'll make it feel way colder,
Yeah.
yeah.
I have gloves on. It's cold. Yeah. Okay. Well, sunset. Back to the. Oh, look, it's still going. You see it already. It's below the clouds. That's cool.
It's just insane.
Nope. They color my. Oh, I see a little tiny bit of sunset right over there. That's cool. Oh, that's cool. I never saw that before.
The sun through the clouds.
The sunset under the clouds. Yeah.
See them now.
See the little red?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. It looks like you're sitting on the clouds. Yep. Last time I went to the visitor center, I just left Kilauea. Oh, man. Yeah. Now look at this over here. These clouds look so fluffy. Poofy.
I want to jump on them.
They look like you would bounce off.
Yeah. I'm gonna go too.
Alright, that's the story. Sorry. And then I'm going to share a picture with you guys. And I'm going to take away your view. You're going to see my ugly face so I can show you the picture. So they were in the car and we were out doing our site not too far away from the car. And as we're doing the tour, telling the story, all of a sudden you hear rocks hitting the car, like loud thumps at the car. And within 30 seconds, all the girls came running back to us with the driver. And I looked at him and like, what happened? He's like, oh, just the usual stuff. Get something in the bush throwing rocks at us. And that kind of stuff happens from time to time, you know. So it wasn't that scary. I was like, all right, we'll come. Well, the girls were terrified. We put them in the middle of the group. We tried to continue on the stories. It was the last stop, which was good, but one of the girls was mortified. She was like catatonic. That's how scared she got. She was in the middle of the group. She had a cold, clammy sweat. She didn't respond to any questions, and her eyes were just frozen straight forward. She was catatonic. So at that point, I made the call. We left. So we tell everybody, okay, guys, it's time to leave. I don't ever want someone being this scared. Yeah. Hey, Adina, how's it? I don't ever want somebody being this scared on my tour. And so we head back to the van. As we walk through the gate one by one, I go out first. I open up the door, and for me, there's a fence, a gate, and I reversed right up to the gate, facing out, so I could leave early. And then, yeah, I walked out. Opened up my car door. I reached over to the driver's seat and I turned the car on to like so I could get the AC running for everybody, and it wasn't hot, and so I get the AC running. And as I'm reaching in doing that, my butt is sticking out the passenger door. The door is open, right? I hear something knocking on the window. I turned around expecting to see one of the people, one of the tourists, and there's nobody there. There's a lady walking in the van at the back, and she looks at me. She's like, "What was that?" I'm like, "What? You never knock on the door? Nobody knocked on the door?" She's like, "Nope, nobody knocked on the window. I didn't see anybody." And I'm like, "Oh, great. There's a ghost." So we get everybody in. Me and the other driver, until I bring him out. We're all ready to go, and I'm like, "Hey, dude, there's something over here wants our attention." So I spoke to the thing in the bush, and I'm like, "Okay, you have our attention. What do you want?" Nothing. I'm like, "You have our attention. You knocked on my window. What do you want?" Nothing. And I'm like, "All right, that sounds good. Whatever. We're gonna leave." Go back Waikiki, drop everybody off. Then I tell Guy, I call up Guy, I call up my friend Gary, and I'm like, "Brah, this place is active tonight. We gotta go back. We gotta see what the hell's going on over here. This place, there's something happening over here." I go back, I picked them up in Waikiki, and I go back, and the other driver was all excited. He's like, "Joe, you need to see this picture, Joe. You need to see this picture. Somebody in my van caught a picture." And I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "There was a person walking on the other side of your van when nobody was there. You need to see this picture." I told him to send it to you. He's like, "It was amazing." So anyways, we go back to Paradise Park that night, Guy, and we start to hear things, a little bit here, a little bit there. We're walking around asking, Can you give me a sign? If you want us to leave, give me a sign." All of a sudden, about 20 yards away, pow! Something just slams. And so we look, it was metallic, and we walk over there and we look, and the only sound it could have been was the sign. And nothing could have fallen on it. It had to hit the sign from the side. So I slapped it with my hand. We made the same noise. And I'm like, "All right, you want us to leave? Do that again. Give me another sign." Nothing. I'm like, "All right, last time, give me another sign." Nothing. About a couple minutes later, we're walking back down the trail, and Gary turns to us and he's like, "Do you hear that?" And I'm like, "Hear what?" He's like, "Listen. We're in a rainforest, right? We're surrounded by trees. The trees are growing over us. The trees are growing around us. The trees are probably at least 100 feet high. These are huge trees, or more. You ever been to Paradise Park? You know what I'm talking about. Um, he starts to hear breathing. Yeah, just this heavy breathing, almost like Darth Vader, but not. It was like we all hear this. It's coming from the tops of the trees, and the entire area, the entire forest is like, and we could hear like a man breathing. And so we're like, "Oh, wow." I turned and I looked, and I'm used to the tour. That's gonna be, "Oh my God, what the hell's going on?" I look at Guy, I look at Gary. They're all smiles. They're like, "This is awesome. You hear that? This is amazing." And I'm like, "That's why you're my friends." You hear disembodied voices, and you don't run for the hills. You're like, "This is so cool." So all of this happened, and after that, we decided it was time to go, time to heli. A few days later, the guy sent me a picture on Facebook, the picture that he had taken. He told me, "Sorry for the delay, but when he took the picture, he brought it home. He got sick for 2 days, bedridden, and then he finally sent me the picture, and he deleted it because he didn't want the picture." Apparently, when he got home, though, he told me that there's a picture. The picture has a lady in it, right? He went to show his friends. "Oh, look at this picture I got." And as he pulls it up, there's no lady in the picture. The lady's completely gone. And then he looks back at it later, and the lady came back. Let's see if I can find the picture for you guys. Favorite pictures. This picture is kind of scary though, so if I can find it, kind of find it. What's going on? You want to see?
Yeah.
That was it. And then it was zoomed in was my password. No. Zoomed in was this.
Wow.
I'm gonna flip you guys over. Hey Neo, how's it? Good to see you, bro. And sorry, you don't get to see the sunset. You get to see something else. Here's picture one. Now, as you can tell, it looks kind of funky. The phone. He took a picture of the camera with his phone because the camera froze. So he took his iPhone out, snapped a picture of his phone. The iPhone froze. No, the camera froze when he got this picture. He couldn't do anything but zoom in and out. He couldn't even turn it off or on. He had to take the batteries out. But he took a picture of this with the iPhone. Here is the picture zoomed in. There was nobody on the tour that looked like that. I promise. So I brought this up to one of my friends, one of the medium friends that I have, one of the psychic friends, and I didn't tell her anything about it. I'm just like, what do you think of this picture? And she messages me and she's like, oh, that's a picture that was taken at Paradise Park. And I'm like, how do you know that? She's like, because that entity lives at Paradise Park. She hides under a bed, a rusted old bed spring. That's what she does. She lives over there, and she's the one that possesses people. And I'm like, great. You good, bud?
Where do you want?
We're gonna go see it.
Huh?
We're gonna go out and see it.
See what?
The sunset.
Okay. So yeah, that picture over there. This was the first time Michael the Archangel came into my life. So later, I had gone and showed a picture of that, right? Let's see, let me show you guys this one here. Or we can still see these guys sitting on the car. No, you got Mauna Loa in the background over here. Yeah, we are all the way up above the clouds. This is so awesome, guys. This is so awesome. So stinking awesome over here. I love it. Hopefully we'll stay here and we can watch the moonrise again too. We'll see. They're gonna kick us out soon, I think. So we went to the church, school in the church, like a classroom in the church. Figured it was a good place, nice and safe to tell ghost stories, right? So I brought my monitor, I brought my laptop, and I brought that picture, and I told that story that I shared with you guys. You know, it was one of those, we go into the classroom, we sit down, tell stories, and then we go eat. You know, always go eat. And so we get over there, and I'm telling the story, and I show that picture. No problem, right? When I was done with the story, this was actually one of the elementary school classrooms, I think, in or near Hawaii Baptist. We showed that picture over there and told the story. And as I got up, when we were done and we started talking and eating, Uncle Reuben came up to me and said, Joe, just wanted to let you know, yeah, when you were telling the story, there was the closet behind you opened up, and that face that you showed us poked out of the closet and looked at you. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. And he's like, but then your eyes changed color. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. Then your eyes changed and they started to glow like gold. My other friend Kai told me that. Another friend Leilani told me that. They all came up to me separately and said the same thing, that they saw that woman, that thing, that face come out and peek out of the closet. And then they saw my eyes start glowing golden. So, oh, bro, there's about 20 Jeeps up here, yeah. And it was at that point I realized that Michael the Archangel helps me, and he's one of my guides and one of my guardians. And it was such a trip. And this has happened many times since. When there's something that happens and something that goes on, I went to bless a house, and the house, originally the story behind it was there was something demonic in the house that had tried to possess, and it showed all the signs of a demonic oppression, a demonic obsession, possession, all of that stuff. There was a sulfur smell, the tapping in threes, So some other people went to go check them out first, and never really worked too well. Things got worse. So then I went over there to check it out. I wasn't gonna do anything. I just wanted to look, so I know what I'm looking at. Um, her friend, her roommate, was her friend from the mainland. This was a military couple over Pearl City Peninsula. Yeah, and a lot of burial over there. A lot of old Hawaiian burial. A lot of angry spirits around over there. Right. So I'm walking around, and her friend actually ran away. When I was there, the friend locked herself in the room and she barricaded the door shut. She wouldn't do anything. And so what I did was I blessed the couple, and I was going to bless the friend too. The girl that lived there is pounding on the door. She's like, "Hey, my friend's over. This guy's over here to bless you. Keep him away. Leave him alone. Leave me alone." And it's like, brah, let us go. Oh, them to go. Okay. I'm gonna go grab my stuff. We are being shooed out. Thank you.
The Rangers told us to go.
Yeah, Ranger told us to go.
Time to go.
So yeah, hold on. I'm gonna grab my stuff. I'm gonna try to put them up here.
Okay. Well, we got down. I can make sure to fall.
Yeah, bro, everything's gonna be falling all down. I know it already. Alright, we're back. Can you help keep that thing up? Yeah. Yeah, we can see. Bro, it's not even half hour after sunset, bro. Relax.
Yeah, by the time we get down there, the sun technically set after going under the horizon, I guess.
I like to see the moon rise up here.
Alright, I'm ending the time lapse. Okay, Rich?
Okay.
Let's see how it turned out. This is illegal, you know.
You guys refinished the Paradise Park bathrooms. Do you think you could do this, boy?
Yeah. Let me do the camera work.
Yeah.
Here, Peach. You can put that on the chair down there.
I'm gonna give you to my son over here. He will take care.
Aloha, everybody. Aloha.
I know, he sounds just like me, so maybe he will share one story.
Yeah.
Bugger.
We'll see. Only on
If anything, we'll go live again down at the base, yeah? Down at the bottom.
So why don't you just drive in the middle?
Oh, wow. We're still here. Huh. That's weird. I'll give it a little all there. Let's see. YouTube apparently doesn't stop. I'm gonna start a new one. Hey, Brad. How's it? Good morning. You're the only person here. Welcome back. Hello. I don't see anybody else. Let me get my flashlight. Actually, I'll show you guys the moonrise over here. Get choke people over here right now for some reason. Like, it's full. I guess people are here to see the moonrise. Too bad we couldn't see from the top. There we go. Hold on. So yeah, wait, you guys still here? Can you guys see the moon? Who's here? I don't know if these are live comments or not that I'm reading. I see Brad, I see Martha, but I see one person watching. Can you say hi, Joe? If I am actually live? Live. Okay, I am live. I don't know, it's not adding up over here. So strange. Sorry, that's Mom. There you go. Oh, wow, it is. Unfortunately, we're back under the clouds. So, yeah. get plenty of people over here. Hello, hello. So yeah, hey, wow. Now the moon is coming out again. I'm so bummed out. Oh well. I'm gonna put this right here. Ouch. That log had a splinter. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm live now. Sorry, I don't know what happened. Well, I do know what happened. My dashboard is not as big as the other one at home, so I can't use the Starlink as I'm driving. Oh, we got kicked out. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to be live at 8. I still got another drive ahead of me. We'll see. I get my kids too, and they're kind of like, well, my son and his girl. I've had them out since 12 today. They no can hang, huh? Either way, if anything, tomorrow we'll be back for the volcano, yeah? Hopefully the volcano will erupt. Or we'll go tell Pele stories over there. Oh man, I've got to sleep pretty soon, huh? I'm getting tired. But yeah, continuing the story, right? There was a lady, that house I went to where the lady was, there was a demonic entity, a demonic attachment kind of thing. Um, I walked upstairs. I was with Dee and Jello and the family. I walked upstairs and I went into the couple's room, the husband and wife, the military, that asked me to come for help. And right across the hallway was the girls' room that was barricaded shut, and she wouldn't come out to get a blessing or see me, and she was acting very, very suspicious, very, very weird. I thought is that she was possessed. She did end up, I think, jumping out the window and running away and not coming back. I think she caught a plane back home and just completely left, but she wasn't herself or anything. Thank you, Keith. You too, brother. And so, something that was interesting was I reacted, yeah? The way I reacted was my eyes turned golden when I was just standing there. Dee looked at me. She's like, dude, your eyes golden. I'm like, what? She's like, they're glowing. I'm like, wow. You know, that kind of showed me that in my bubble there was something that was not too good. And so Michael came over to protect me, per se. Yeah? Hey, Shay Rock Shishi, how's it? I know I stay over Mauna Kea Visitor Center. We got kicked off the summit because nighttime already. Yeah? So yeah. Yeah, sorry, there's zero reception above the clouds, 13,000 feet up, without my Starlink. Hey, Brenda. I don't know how this live continued, though. I didn't even click go live. It just was like, would you like to resume? Sure. Yeah, I really wish we could have seen it from up there. Well, it's cold up here. I think I might have got. I think my nose have a little bit of allergies or something. There's a lot of dust too when we walk to the pond, the lake, Lake Vial. So I think that was it too. Well, I went on. I don't know. We went on earlier to watch the sunset, and then we left, and then we went live again. So yeah. Tonight's subject is Michael the Archangel. I kind of wanted to share a story when my kid was here, but they decided to go use the bathroom and walk around. We'll see. We're still really high up off the ground, so it's still kind of cold and the air's still super thin, but not like the summit. Maybe I'll share those stories for a little bit later. Yeah. Tomorrow, I'm looking forward to the volcano. We're gonna go through. I don't know. We'll see. I really hope the volcano erupts tomorrow, and that we can get a picture of that. It's gonna be a whole nother long day. This should be saved for later. I don't know. I'm not too sure. I'll find out after I end the live. I never ended that one. JP, how's it? So I got sunset, but couldn't get you back for a while. Kept trying. Yep. Hey, Faye, how's it? The sunset was great. Um, I think on TikTok it was working good, and Facebook too. You guys watch the sunset, right? Yeah, it was awesome. Let me think of it. Okay, here's another story I can think of in regards to Michael the Archangel. I really wanted to tell another story at the summit, but I'll have to do it next time. Um, this story involves a succubus and a really good friend of mine. Um, okay. So my real good friend of mine, Adam. Adam lives in Wisconsin, and we met playing World of Warcraft back in the day. We've been friends for over a decade already. He's really cool, you know. So he knows what I do the ghost stuff and all that. I just met him, in fact, a few months ago for the first time, but um, he had trouble with ghost, with something, kind of. You see, he would have a dream of this woman every single night, and this woman he would find himself attracted to and falling in love with this woman and all of that stuff too. And the thing about his dreams is he has a photographic memory, yeah. He stays he has a photographic memory and lucid dreaming, which means that when he goes to sleep, he dreams, he remembers his dreams, and he controls his dreams, which is really cool, you know. And so he'll tell me everything about his dreams, everything, the people he saw, the places he went, all of that, in his dreams. And so he would tell me that in his dream he would be fighting like zombies or something, and then they're overwhelming him, and all of a sudden this woman jumps off of the roof with a ninja sword and starts slicing all the zombies and saves him. And in another dream she, ends up saving him as well, and she's always this quiet presence that's always there and has his back and starts saving and saves him. He described her to me as as a woman in her 30s, brownish reddish hair, I think. I forget what color. I think it was like brownish reddish hair, a burgundy scarlet colored dress, black shoes. He even went on Amazon and found the same dress, that the closest he could get. And so he found that same dress. He sent a picture of it to me. Sent me a picture of the shoes and everything. He could recall everything she wore. And he said he doesn't feel right. He's married, right? And he has kids. And this woman keeps coming into his dreams, and he's starting to feel a certain way, which is typical for a succubus, right? I'll read this real fast. Ever since you told me about Michael, everything stops, everything behaves. Yep, everything is good, huh? Yeah, Hawaiian Hauntings. Hey, you're my autograph.
Yeah.
I already get them on my face.
You heard that? West Side. Okay, that's funny. That's freaking hilarious. And the voice and everything, huh? I
compliment you too.
yeah, I know
A
exactly.
lot of the expressions I use are like the little vocal things.
Yeah.
I think freaking you on them. Oh my gosh.
I think I could. Yeah, we talked to Grandma or something before. I just thought of you or I was you. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
she
should.
does it all the freaking
We should
time.
mess with people.
I called grandma. She's like, "Hey Joe."
Yeah. Let me finish the story. So, I don't know if I told you guys this one. It was my friend in Wisconsin.
Yeah,
His succubus.
I think you might.
Yeah. So he had a girl in his dreams that would always appear to him and save him. She was wearing a burgundy colored dress, burgundy/scarlet. She was like in her 30s, like brunette, redhead. And he has a photographic memory and lucid dreaming, so he can do things in his dream and remember everything. She would save him from zombies, and whatever the dream was, she'd come down and save him, and he found himself growing attracted to her, although he's married, right? And so he talked to me about it, and I told him, okay, you need to say the Michael the Archangel's prayer, and before you go to bed, and he did that, and he'd still dream about her. And I'm like, this is weird. I'm getting the feeling that this is not good, right? I'm like, all right, try this, and you can lucid dream. In your dream, open the Bible and start reading from the Bible. He calls me the next morning. He said, I opened the Bible and I was reading from the Bible, and she knelt beside me and joined me, but only for a minute before she stood up and walked away. And I'm like, this is strange. This is weird. The house he used to live in, the one I went to visit, yeah, you guys weren't there. Me and Mom went to go visit, and we met Adam and all that. Right in Beloit, as you guys call it, right? There used to be an old 1800s house over there, like a mansion over there, the Beloit Manor, and he lived right across the street from it, and the place was haunted. Everybody always knew it was haunted. There was a paranormal team that took over, and they had free reign of the place for over a decade. I found their website. I contacted them, and they had EVPs. There was a little girl, and I found one of the ladies' names, and I reached out to her on Facebook because I found her on Facebook, and I asked her, I'm like, hey, I understand you before it was torn down, you did the Beloit Manor, right? She's like, oh yeah, I did. I'm like, I see you come across a lot of little girls, a lot of evidence of a little girl over there talking, but have you ever come across a girl that was older? And the lady tells me, oh, you mean the one in the burgundy dress? She's in her 30s. And I'm like, that's the one my friend is dreaming about. She's like, well, I can't tell you much about it because my priest said not to. But after they tore down the house, she followed me home, and I ended up with a brain aneurysm. And she's not good. And if you're thinking what I think you're thinking, you're right. She's like, and that was all I had. That was the whole conversation I had. But she had the same. She didn't. They didn't put any of that on the website, right? It was bad. It was evil. It would attacked her. It was a succubus, the way it treated him, right? And so finally, about a year later, the dreams kind of slowed down, but they didn't ever go away. He finally got tired of it and decided to fight her, and he fought her and he won, and then she turns into a blob and reforms as a bad guy in a movie, and he fights that one and defeats that one, and then it happens again and again and again, and the whole night he's fighting this blob of mass that turns into every bad guy you can imagine, and finally he's tired and he's getting exhausted, and it's about to kill him, when his brother appears with golden eyes and a sword and slays her, and she vanishes and disintegrates into the air. And I was like, that's so cool. He had golden eyes and he had a sword. That was Michael the Archangel. Your brother came down, or Michael the Archangel came down as your brother and slayed her, and she has not bothered him since at all. We went back there in May. We went to go see her at your graduation. He wanted to show me, right? Because I got to finally meet him. And we heard a little girl, which I finally connected just now, the little girl that was there on the manor before. The gate kept slamming shut when it was actually tied open. We saw it, we heard it. I walked over and investigated, and it was tied open.
That's where you went.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you spoke about that.
It's a medical center now. Nobody was there because it was Sunday, I think. And it just continued, and it was good. I also noticed that Adam pointed out to me the surrounding plants were all dead the entire time he's lived there for over a decade. And after they tore down the manor, the plants are starting to bloom and turn green and come back to life at the edges, and they come closer and closer. So it's like the land itself used to be dirty, but then it started healing. I'm going to head home pretty soon, so I'm going to share with you guys one more story. Let me read the comments first, though. Joe, you guys heard of the Mokulele might shut down because of the government shutdown? Really? The government funds Mokulele? Airlines, right? Oh, no. Whatever. One of my favorite stories I'll tell you guys. It's not scary at all. It's one of the reasons I do this kind of stuff. It's not because I like getting scared. It's because there's a lot to learn and share. This is my friend Gary's story. I really wanted to share this up on the summit, but we ran out of time because I talk too much. um, but imagine that the sun is setting. So my friend Gary is a skeptic. He comes from the East Coast, New York, I think, and he's also my buddy, my ghost hunting buddy. And every time something happens, he debunk it. And finally, years ago, I told him, "Bruh, do you even believe in this stuff?" Because like we'd be sitting down and he gets touched. He's like, "Ah, that was just a bug." And I'm like, "Oh, the bug left a fingerprint on your arm, huh?" He's like, "That was just a bug." I'm like, he's like, I didn't see any fingers, I didn't see any hands, that kind of stuff, right? I'm like, well, do you even believe in this stuff or what? He's like, "Well, of course I do, Joe." I'm like, "Well, please, how do you believe in this?" He's like, then he told me his story. His story goes back to when he was younger, and his best friend, Tom. Gary and Tom were best friends in elementary school, best friends in middle school, best friends in high school, best friends in college. They dormed together, they lived together. Eventually, after college, they moved out, they got their own place. And I'll tell you, it was more than friends. They were in love with each other, a very deep, very. It was amazing, from what Gary told me. They were soulmates, and so they were living fine, in an apartment over on the East Coast. And Gary comes home from work one night, and Tom's on his way out. He's like, "Hey, Gary, I'm going to a party. So and so's having a party. You gonna come join me?" Gary's like, "Nah, I'm just getting home from work. I'm kind of tired. You have fun." So Tom starts walking out the door, and Gary's like, "Hey, but listen to me, huh? If you have too much to drink, stay over there. Don't drive home. I don't want you to get hurt." Tom's like, "Oh, yeah, 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 dude. Don't worry about it, dude. I'll do that. Yeah, it's fine." And keep in mind, this is probably in the 80s or the 90s, so there were no cell phones, yeah? So the next morning, Gary gets up. Tom's not home. He goes to work. No problem. Tom slipped over. He got drunk. Gary comes home from work. Tom's still not home. He's like, he calls the mom, and the mom's like, "I never heard from Tom. I haven't heard from him yet, or nothing." So he calls around, and nobody has heard from Tom all day. Tom had left the party. About that evening, 7 o'clock that evening, a police officer comes knocking on the door, and to deliver, if you can imagine, the bad news. Tom had died. He was hit by a drunk driver last night. And so Gary and Tom's mother, they were all friends. They always hung out, the three of them. They were distraught. They were just beside themselves with grief. They could not move on. The weeks turned into months. The months turned into years. 4 years after Tom's death, they still woke up every morning with a fresh sting of regret, of pang, of just sadness and sorrow. And so they couldn't move past it. They tried everything. They got rid of everything that was Tom's. Instead of Tom's, including Tom's car, he had a brown. I want to call it a Grand Prix because that's how I picture it, but I forgot what Gary said. So a brown, well, Monte Carlo, we'll say. He had this brown Monte Carlo, and they're up on the East Coast. They sold it to a guy in Florida because they never wanted to see it again. They didn't want to be reminded of Tom because it hurts so much. One evening, Gary is going to the convenience store, and he goes and buys whatever he needs for the next day: food, cereal, milk, that kind of stuff, snacks. And he's talking with the lady, the cashier, and he tells her goodbye, and he walks out. And as he walks out, he's about to, I guess, either walk home or something, and he stops because parked right in front of him is Tom's car. And he's like, "What's the odds of this? What the heck?" He's looking at the car like this is Tom's car. And he's feeling the pain, and he's feeling all of that stuff. And then the window rolls down, and there's Tom looking back at him, smiling. Gary's jaw drops, and he's like, "Tom, is that you?" And he's like, "Yeah, dude, I gotta tell you something. Jump in my car, let's go for a drive." So Gary goes into the passenger seat. Tom starts driving around the block. Gary's just staring at Tom. He's like, "Are you an angel?" Tom's like, "No, that's what we need to talk about." He's like, "You see, I can't go to heaven because you and Mom won't let me go. You guys are suffering so much, I can't watch my loved ones suffer. You guys need to let me go, Gary. I'll see you guys soon enough. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. And Gary's like, I'm having some kind of fever dream. This is not real. This is not happening. He's like, how do I know this is real? And Tom's like, no, it's real, dude. He reaches into the glove compartment box. He pulls out an envelope that says Gary on it. He sticks it into Gary's shirt pocket. He's like, that's how you'll know. The car stops. He's in front of Gary's apartment. Gary opens the door, opens the car door, walks into his apartment, goes upstairs in a daze, realizing now as he goes into his living room that he forgot all the groceries in Tom's car. The milk, all of that stuff. As he walks into the kitchen, Tom's sitting on the table with all of his groceries. He smiles at him and disappears. Gary just walks right by thinking that he's dizzy, he doesn't know what he's thinking, he doesn't know up from down, goes right to bed. Wakes up thinking he had the weirdest dream ever. Comes back out into the kitchen, sees all the food not put away, the milk went bad, all of that, and he's like, what the hell happened last night? You know, and then he remembers the envelope. He looks in his shirt pocket and the envelope is still there. Now I'll tell you what's in the envelope in a second, but as he looked in the envelope, he called Tom's mom and told the mom everything that had happened. Of course, she starts crying. They meet up, and he tells her again in person everything that had happened the night before when he had seen Tom and talked to Tom. And then he pulls out the envelope from his pocket, and he shows it to her. She opens up the envelope and pulls out a picture, a Polaroid picture of the three of them at their favorite bar. On the back of the picture says, he's like, love you guys. See you soon. Love, Tom. And the mom's jaw drops because she knows this picture, this Polaroid picture. She looks at Gary and said, Gary, I know this. This is the last thing you put in Tom's coffin before they closed it and buried him. And Gary just kind of smiled and nodded. That's why Gary believes in ghosts. To this day, he tells me Tom will still make an appearance no matter what country he's in, no matter where he's in. He'll be at a stoplight, and then Tom will drive up in his brown Monte Carlo, roll down the window and say, hey, dude, how are you? And then drive away and disappear. So that's always one of my favorite stories to tell because it's a beautiful story. You know, it's a story that shows you about it's a Tom story. I like telling this story. I try to save it for special occasions, like when we're up on Mauna Kea, you know. But yeah, it shows that they're still there. They're still watching you. They're still protecting you. They're still guarding you. Yeah. It helps people that have lost loved ones to cope. Because if you don't cope, and if it still hurts, then you need to go through the grief. You need to go through that mourning process, but you don't need to stay there. You got to work your way out, you know. It's always a difficult process, but you have to navigate it. There's no shortcuts. Anyway, any other stories I can think of? How are you guys doing? Not too cold down here, huh? But no wind. Yeah. Yeah. You're welcome. As I said, that's always been one of my favorite stories to share. In fact, Gary asked me if I could write that for a Google magazine or something like that years ago, so I helped him do it. And he gave me permission to tell it. Did you guys see that picture? Because I didn't get. Usually, I get a reaction from that picture, but nobody said anything. Hey, JB, I am at Mauna Kea, the visitor center. We were up on the summit and we watched the sunset. And we were at Lake Waiau, and we had quite the day. Oh, I want to try something. Makana.
Yeah.
Check, come talk to them. Let's see if they know the difference. So, hi guys. My name is Joe.
So hi guys. Oh. So hi guys. My name is Makana. We're up at the visitor center right
tell them
now.
about what happened with the window.
The window. Yeah. My window, my room.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was in middle school. And I don't know whether to consider it some kind of encounter or some kind of weird dream or an episode of sleep paralysis. But I was laying in my bed and I left all my lights on. This was it was in the evening time, so it wasn't super late at night, and I had all my lights on and I kind of just gently dozed off to sleep. you know, as one does. And I opened my eyes back up, and I felt like, okay, I'm back in my room. Everything looks the same. And but then I kind of realized I wasn't moving, and I couldn't really move, and it was strange because everything looked the same, and the lights were all the same. I could even still hear the people in my house talking. But then like the edges of my vision started to kind of get dark, and everything kind of started to creep in. And in the window that my the foot of my bed was facing directly at me, I saw what appeared to be a face in my window, a face that resembled common statues or carvings of Kukai Limoku, the god of war.
Oh, you didn't tell me about that.
What?
You didn't tell me what it looked like.
I thought I told you that.
No,
Yeah.
no.
It looked exactly like common
Oh, damn.
common representations of Kukai Limoku,
Like a tiki. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
with a big smile in the eyes.
Oof.
Yeah. So I saw that, and it just started laughing at me, and it was repeating some phrase to me over and over. I can't remember what it was. I had it in my head for a few minutes after I woke up, but that was the experience basically. I was stuck in my bed. I had what appeared to be Ku, the god of war, in my window, staring at me, laughing at me, and repeating a phrase. And I couldn't move the whole time. And then before you know it, I kind of just woke up for real, and it was like nothing. It was like nothing happened. Um, Everything was back to normal, but it was totally fresh in my memory, as if it was something that had just happened, like I had just experienced. You know, fully awake, fully conscious.
You told me, remember you telling me the lights went out. You couldn't see anything, but you could hear.
I could see the face.
Yeah, and
I
at
remember
one
that.
point, all the lights went off and you couldn't see anything, but you could hear the laughter. Did that not
Probably
happen?
toward the end of it.
Yeah.
If it's been a while.
I remember my friend said that they took away your sight, the guardians, so you didn't have to see it anymore, but you could still hear it. I remember you saying that you turned all the lights on,
Yeah.
and that, then you went in the room and all the lights were out.
I don't remember. Like,
So I remember you telling me you went out to get a glass of water.
okay. I don't remember all the context. I just remember
Okay.
the experience itself.
Okay,
So
okay.
if there's some stuff that you remember,
I'm just
that I don't,
curious.
yeah.
I'm just curious. I like
So,
to hear from you as
yeah.
you remembered it.
For context, I believe I was in 7th grade. I just finished my undergrad in college, so it's
And
been
you got an experience
been
similar
a few
not too
years.
long ago.
I experienced another episode of sleep paralysis not too long ago.
In Illinois.
In Illinois, yeah. I was laying in a bed, and it was dark, but just lit enough by a night lamp in the corner of the room. And then I same thing. I dozed off, you know, but then weird things started happening. I just saw weird dark figures in the corners of my eyes, in the corners of the room. At this point, I was pretty much just about half asleep, and I heard somebody repeating a phrase over and over in sync with the sound that the fan was making each time it rotated. Um, and it just said the word "see" over and over, but in the way that, like, when you ask someone, like, "see," you know, it kept saying that over and over. And yeah, it was kind of just like that. I was laying in the bed, somewhat dark room with dark figures all around, and then I just woke up like normal. And then I think I turned off the light that night so I don't have to see anymore, because the dimly lit room is what made my brain go crazy. But yeah,
Interesting. You have anything you want to share?
me and my dad sound alike.
Yeah.
I guess so, huh? I think we have similar cadences and some similar, like, figures of speech that we use for sure. A lot of the time, I'll be talking to people or something like that, and I'll notice myself using similar figures of speech that my dad uses, or similar, similar cadences to the way he speaks, and I catch that in the moment. I'm like, dang, I really do talk like my dad. I do sound like my dad too. So, yeah,
Thanks, boy.
take it away, Hawaiian Hauntings.
Actually, I have another guest over here. Paige has an amazing story. I want to hear.
Hi,
This
everybody.
is Paige. She's my daughter-in-law.
Yeah, I'm Paige. I am not from here, so I unfortunately don't have any Hawaii-specific stories to tell. But I want to tell you about a couple encounters with angels that my family has had. So these, again, aren't my stories specifically, but I don't think I told any of you this, actually. They're not my stories, they're my family's stories, and I'll try to recall the details the best that I can. But one of these stories that like I've been told since I was a little girl is actually about my aunt. She got into a really bad car crash before I was born. So this all happened before I was born. And it was so bad that the front end of the car was so smashed that her shoes got smashed into the dashboard and she flew out the back of the car through the back windshield and ended up in this like out in the road. And she remembers that there was this angel that came that like appeared to her and lifted her up and carried her to safety off the road like in the ditch until and stayed with her until the paramedics could come and bring her to the hospital and help her. And she really does believe that if it wasn't for that angel, that she would have gotten herself into a lot more trouble. And she just recalls like the comfort that that presence brought um, on her. I'm sure she could tell the story with a lot more details, but that's how I remember my mom telling me this story. Yeah, it was really special. Um, and then there was this one time, this one's a lot less dramatic, I suppose, but my parents were out just a night out at like one of the local car show nights around my town, and they actually met this couple that they swear they were angels. Just the presence that they had about them, just they had this like light and this just outpouring of love. And their biggest regret, they said to this day, is that they didn't invite them over to dinner. Um, but it's just really interesting to me. I'm very fascinated by angels, and the idea that you can sort of sense when someone has is looks human but isn't quite human is really intriguing and cool to me, and I hope one day I get to have a similar encounter. Yeah, but those are my little stories.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Cool, thank you. That reminded me of one grandma would share when she was a kid, when she was a
Really?
teenager. Remember
Car
that?
seat. In the front seat of the car?
Yeah, with Auntie Wendy.
I was just thinking about as she was talking
Yeah.
about that, yeah. That's a great story.
They were on their way to prom,
Yeah.
and they got into a bad car accident, and like their face went like through the windshield and everything, kind of thing.
Oh.
And was it Auntie Wendy's face was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there was the cuts all over it, but in the form of a hand,
Mhm.
it was fine, like over her eyes.
Yeah.
And so she was like, Susie, it was because of you, because in the accident, she said my mom put her hand over her eyes to protect her, but my mom never did. It was
Yep.
something else.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
really, really
Which is
powerful.
incredible, yeah.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Can I tell you a secret? Really? We'll have to ask her in it so she can tell with more detail.
Your son is such a gentleman. Yeah, mahalo Paige for sharing. Awesome, yeah. All right, yeah, okay. Read some of the comments over here. Yep. Yeah, that one girl from nowhere, that's my friend. Oh, what did I do? Oh, I did that.
Who's that?
I don't know. I don't know TikTok too well. I just learned YouTube, for crying out loud. There's a lot of cool stories. It's been a long day though, so I think we're gonna hele on and head home. Yeah, I'm gonna flip it over. We have lights. Yeah, we got lights right now. Actually. Let's see the three of us. Yeah. Oh,
Can they see us?
there you go.
Hello.
Hey, this is
Oh,
Joe.
whoa.
Kind
Kind of crazy lighting.
Crazy lighting.
Oh, dude, I'll just let you guys up.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Nice to meet you all. Kind of.
You guys.
Yeah. Have a good night, you guys.
Good night.
You guys take care, yeah? We'll see you guys later. Oh,
Alrighty.
yeah. Okay, aloha. I don't know what time I go start tomorrow. We'll see. Volcano tomorrow, yeah? So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Aloha.